May start. So first, this is our syllabus of statistical genetics, in which I'll not discuss this syllabus. And these are the reference books you can refer: that Statistical Genetics by Prem Narayan, Genetics of Population by J.P. Zain and V.T. Prabhakaran, Population Genetics by C.C. Lee, and Statistical Technique in Quantitative Genetics by J.P. Zain. So you can find these books from in your library or somewhere in your, I think, from Amazon, and all you can purchase. Now next, first I'll start with the basic of biology. Basically, all substances are like living and non-living. Okay, in non-living there are lifeless situation, just like for example protists, plants, animal, fungus, and bacteria are living organism. And these water, soil, air, lights, minerals, these are all in non-living parts, means there we consider there is no life. So in living organism, basically their self reproduction process are there. So first of all, what is reproduction? So reproduction is the process by which life is transmitted from one individual to a succession of new one, and the new generation is called as offspring generation. Okay, so this reproduction is what? Transmission of life from one generation to another generation, and that new generation is called as offspring. Now there are two type of reproduction, as we know that there are sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is what? In which an individual arises from the union of two cells, male sex part and female sex part, male sex cells and female sex cells. After getting that, we will get some embryo, and just like for example I have given here, this is female and this will produce egg, and this is male and this will produce some sperms and all, and after copulation of this we will get zygote, and after development of zygote we will get an embryo. So this is known as sexual reproduction. So in which an individual arises from the union of two cells detached from the two parents, such as cells known as sex cells or gametes. So this is a female gamete and this is male gametes. So after, and the fusion of two gametes is known as sexual reproduction, and it is the fusion of two gametes will known as zygote, and after the zygote will develop, this will become an embryo. Similarly, for asexual reproduction, it is known as vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. It is usually present in plants, or we can say that a plant get divided into two parts. Just like I have shown this example, suppose this is a plant, and in which some a new generation is happening, is developing. So this is asexual, or we can say vegetative reproduction. Okay. If you find any doubt, you can stop me and you can ask me in between. Okay. Now next, if we see that what is the division of labor, means what male cell is doing and what is female cell is doing. Male parent, what is the labor, means what is the work distribution of male and female between two parents which produce sex cells. So suppose I consider female parent. So female parent will produce bigger sex cell. This is known as X. Why these are bigger in size? Because they will store some food in between. So they will store food to produce a zygote. Okay. Then female sex cells or gametes are ova, and this is produced in ovules. And in animals, these gametes are known as eggs, or which is produced in ovary. Okay. So in plants, if I say that where the ova produce, it is produced in ovule. So basically I am telling you this basics of genetics or basics of biology, just because suppose your net preparation, the part of statistical genetics is given to some basic genetics person to make the question. So they can ask that in which ova is produced, what is ovules, what is ovary, and in which eggs are produced. Okay, just like so, female sex cells are bigger in size. Just and similarly, the male parent would produce smaller sex cells, and smaller sex cells will be or gametes are pollen grains, or it is produced in stamens. And if we see in animals, it is spermatozoa or sperms which is produced in testes. Okay, so just I have taken one see these pictures are there. So this is what, this is our stamens. See, this is our stamen, and this is what, this is our spermat, or we can say this is stem, this is our pollen grains. So this is our pollen grains, and see here, this is ovules, and here the ova are there, egg cells are there in this portion. Just like in, if we consider female as a human, or we can say animals, so this is a egg cell of a female, in which this is a in bigger size, and they will store food. And here these are the some example of our pollen grains, different size or different shape of pollen grains are there in different plants. Okay, and the fertilized ovum, or we can say fertilized egg, is known as zygote. So here, see, this is a male sex cell, that is sperm, and this is egg. So whenever this will fuse together, then fertilization will happen, and after fertilization, what will produce? It will produce in zygote. Okay, clear? Now we will move to the next. The identical heredity material is the essence of phenomena of heredity. Means, if we talk about heredity, so in heredity we will get the genotypes from our parents, and our parents will get from our grandparents. So this is known as heredity, and identical heredity material will go to the generation by generation, in which characters are transmitted from one generation to another generation, and this is known as the physical basis of inheritance. Okay, so this is the heredity is the basis of inheritance from generation to generation. But sometimes what happened, that the identical heredity characters or material transmitted from generation to generation changes, sometimes due to rare phenomena, that is known as mutation. That is known as mutation. So mutation is what? It is a very rare phenomena in which our variability or our hereditary material will not go as such as in the parent to the offspring. So see the example here. This is the plant example. So this flower is red, having red petals, but due to mutation, the petal is white also. See, in the animals, this is tortoise example of mutation. Two mouths are there. Similarly, if we see in human, so sometimes this some two mouths are there, two heads are there. Likewise, joint legs are there, joint fingers are there. So this is the example of mutation. Okay, clear? Any doubt? Okay, so the variability which is produced by difference.
Sir, what is
Yes,
inheritance? Inheritance, one more please.
inheritance, we will come to the next. Wait for some time, we will go and we will see the what is inheritance in Mendel's law. Okay, now let me complete and I will ask in between. So the variability which is produced by differences in heredity is known as genotypic variability. Now this variability is just because of the chance. Now if suppose this is parent, and after that this is offspring, and after this is also offspring, this is F1 generation, this is F2 generation. So the variability which is produced by differences in heredity. Now see, if this is grandparent, okay, now there will be 100% similar offspring will not be there in human, in plants, in all such example, but there will be some variability. So that variability is known as genotypic variability. So genetics is a branch of biology which deals with these two aspects, heredity and variability in all living organisms. Okay, so the genetic is a branch of biology which deals with two aspects. One is heredity and one is variability in that all organism. Okay, now just tell me, can anyone tell me what is genotype and what is phenotype? What is genotype and what is phenotype? I am waiting for response. Why no response? Okay, phenotype is external or morphological. Okay, so genotype is what? Genotype is defined as the inherited constituent, or we can say the sum total of hereditary factors which an individual receives from its parent. Mm, what is the meaning of this? That genotype is what? The genes which we are getting from our parents, inherited constitution or sum total of hereditary factors. Okay, and apart from this, what is phenotype? That is, we can say, outward appearance of an individual being the sum total of its expressed peculiarities from, for example, size, color, behavior. So a phenotype is what? It is an ultimate result of interaction of given genotype with its environment. So I can write phenotype is equal to genotype plus environmental effect. So these are the genotype which we are getting from our parents, but due to environment some changes will be there, and that is known as phenotype. For example, this is our genotypic constituents. So genotype are the genetic makeup of an individual, and this is what? This is phenotype. That brown color mouse is there, red color, white color mouse is there, or we can say black color mouse is there. So these are the phenotype. So phenotype are the set of observable characteristic of an individual resulting from interaction of genotype with its environment. So these are genes, this is environment, and this is phenotype. Okay, so we can say that genotype codes for phenotype. So this genotype will code for phenotype. Genetic constituent we will get from our parents, but due to environmental changes, we will get some different. So, for example, we can say this fly is having green color eyes. Some will have red color eyes. Some will have different brown color eyes. Likewise, this phenotype will be the effect of genotype and environment. Okay, now similarly, just genetics, we can classify it into the Mendelian genetics as well as population genetics. So the genetic difference from individual can be studied at two level, at individual level and at population level. So at if we are studying genetics at individual level, that we will go for the qualitative characters. For example, color of flower, shape of udder of the cow. And if we are going genetics study at a population level, then we will go for at population level. If and this is individual. So at population level, for example, yield of crop, milk yield of a cow. So this is, we are going for population level. So this is known as population genetics, and the on an individual level we will go for the Mendelian genetics. And in Mendelian genetics we study on the individual level and we study only qualitative characters. But in population genetics, we will go for the quantitative characters, and that study will be on population level. If the quantitative characters are involved, then it is known as quantitative or biometrical genetics. So question can comes like that: which type Mendelian genetics occurs at which level, individual level or population level? So answer is individual level. Okay. Now, since the attributes of a group of individual or population can only be studied in terms of statistical parameters which summarize the population characteristic, the science of population genetic is essentially statistical in nature. That's why the study of theoretical population genetics, which is predominantly statistical and mathematical in nature, it is known as statistical genetics. So this is the definition of statistical genetics, in which we will study mathematical and statistical property or nature. Now, three scientists are there which are the architects of statistical genetics, that is R.A. Fisher, J.B.S. Haldane, and Sewell Wright. So this question was there in NET examination, that who was the architect, who are the architects of statistical genetics. So R.A. Fisher, J.B.S. Haldane, and Sewell Wright, all three are the architects of statistical genetics, because the three works too much in the this field. Okay, now we will come to the Mendelian genetics. So the so first of all, Mendel, that is Gregor John Mendel, full name, and he is known as father of genetics. He is very famous for the P experiment, and on P experiment he studied 7 characters of the garden P. So these are the 7 characters. So in exam they can ask which character is not studied by Gregor John Mendel, which character is not studied by the Mendel. So these are the 7 character: flower colors, plant height, seed color, seed shape, pod color, pod shape, and flower position. So these 7 character are these on which Mendel studied. But instead of this character is there in the exam, then you can take that of this that that answer, that these are not studied by the Mendel. Okay, so this characters having flower color, dominant trait, and recessive traits are there.
So please repeat.
Hello.
So please repeat this sentence, last sentence. Yeah.
Okay, just so these in Mendelian genetics, what he studied 7 characters of garden P. So what are the 7 characters of garden P? That is flower color, plant height, seed color, seed shape, pot color, pot shape, and flower position. So the question can come that which character is not studied by Mendel. Okay, so apart from this 7, if there are in option, that suppose there are, I can say yield. So yield is not studied by Mendel. Okay, I can say that what seed shape is there, seed shape is there, seed color is there, plant height is there, flower color is there. Okay, so instead of these 7 character, is if there is any character instead of this, we can take that option, and that will be our answer, that is not studied by Mendel. So these are dominant characters, that purple, white, tall, short, yellow, green, round, wrinkled, green, yellow, inflated and constricted, axial, and terminal. So these are the dominant trait and recessive trait. I will come to the next, what is the dominant and recessive. Okay, understand that these 7 characters are studied by Mendel. So he, on the basis of P experiment, he propounded 2 famous principle in 1865. This year is very important. That in which year Mendel studied 2 famous principle, which was rediscovered in 1900. This is also important date, important year, 1865, 1900. So who and different three scientists were there: Hugo de Vries in Holland, Karl Corens in Germany, and Sermark in Austria. Independently rediscovered two laws of inheritance of Mendel. It means what is the meaning? That Mendel studied seven character and he gave two famous principle, but that was unnoticed after his death. But in 1900, three different scientists, De Vries, Lorenz, and Sermark, independently discovered two laws. So they are not working together. They independently rediscovered these two laws, and they gave the name of these two laws on the basis, on the remembrance of Mendel, that these two laws, law of Mendel's. Okay. So if the question asks that if it, is they given the rediscovered the law independently or simultaneously, but we can say that these all the three scientists work independently, studied independently in different areas: Holland, Germany, and Austria. So these three names are very important, and these 2 years are very important: 1865 and 1900. Okay. Now, Mendel's experiment for inheritance of color of flower. So somebody asked, what is inheritance? So inheritance is what? Inheritance is transferring of genes. Transferring inheritance means transferring of particular genetic constituent from one generation to another generation. Now see, if a true breeding population is there, so red on selfing, if I have a red flower and I am doing the selfing of red flower, then I will get only the red flowers as my offspring. Similarly, if the parents are white, having white flower on selfing, we will get white flower as an offspring. Okay. Now see this cross. Parents. This is P is denoted for parents. This is red flower RR. So I will write RR cross small RR. So this is red flower. This is white flower. And what is gametes? So gamete will produce like R and small r. So from this only one gamete will produce, that is R, and here R. Okay. Then we will cross them and we will get F1HRR, and this will be red in color. Why this will be red in color? Because red, capital R, this red is dominant on small r, dominant on white color flower. So F1 generation we will get a red flower. Now what will be the result, or we can say F2 generation. So this is, now we will do selfing. So selfing, how we will do selfing? So CRR is the, so the, how many types, how many gametes will be there? One R and one small r. Okay. So I will do selfing like this. R. So this will be the zygotes will be capital R, capital R, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, and small r, small r. So this will be 3:1. The phenotype will be 3:1. This is the phenotypic ratio. 3 reds will be there, 3 red flowers are there, and 1 white flower is there. Okay. So this is the Mendel's experiment for inheritance of color of flowers. Now, F1 hybrid are uniform in their hereditary factor if they are having true breeding parents, and the hereditary factors, which are R and small r, are known as genes, and it is given by Johnson. So in exam, who gave the term genes? So W.L. Johnson gives the term genes. Okay. Now, first law of Mendel, we will move to the first law of Mendel, that is law of segregation. So remember this name, law of segregation, and the statement of this law was the allelic genes. What are the allelic genes? Suppose these are the RR, small rr, or the this is F1 hybrid. So the allelic genes in the zygote do not blend or contaminate. This will not contaminate each other, but segregate and pass on to the different gametes in the distinct ratio. What is the meaning? This is statement is of Mendel's first law, that is law of segregation. The allelic genes in a zygote do not blend or contaminate. They will not contaminate each other, but they will segregate. They will segregate and pass on into the different gametes in distinct ratio. For example, suppose this is a red flower and this will produce only one gamete, that is capital R, and this is white flower, this will produce small r gamete. So this will pass on to the different gamete with the ratio is 1:1. So they will pass into the next generation with into the different gamete in distinct ratios. So now homozygous will produce only one type of gamete, that is either R or small r. So this is known as homozygous. Both are same. It means this is homozygous and this is homozygous dominant, and this is known as homozygous recessive. So homozygous produce only one type of gamete, that is either R or small r. So from here we will get R, and from here we will get as a gamete small r. F1 which receive R from one parent. Now this is F1. See, if I multiply it, then this is my gamete RR, and this is F1. Okay, so F1 will get receive capital R from one parent and small r from another parent. It is denoted by RR, and this will be heterozygote. This is heterozygote. Okay, so heterozygote will produce two type of gametes, that is R and R, and this will produce in 1:1 ratio, or the with the probability. So the how many gametes are there? 2. So the probability of capital R is 1/2, and the probability of small r is 1/2. Okay, getting or not? Are you getting this? Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
thank you.
Could you
Now,
please
yes,
Hello?
yes.
Could you please explain it one more time, because I didn't get what is allelic gene. The term is there over there on the top
Which
of the
one?
slide. Down there, down. So please go down
Okay.
a little more. Yes, this one slide. The allelic gene. What is the meaning of allelic?
See,
Here?
this is two alleles. So suppose this is my genetic constituent. So I am representing is AA, and this is for red color flower. Suppose RR. So this is known as allelic genes. There are two alleles. There are two alleles in that particular red flower. So this is known as allelic gene, or this is term is given by W.L. Johnson. So this I am writing this denotation. This is I am representing with capital RR, small r. This is nothing but this is alleles. So which I am representing in letters. I cannot again and again will make this diagram of these genes and all. So see here, one example I have taken. See, this is genotype. So I can write this is RR. So this is alleles. Okay. So this is alleles, and this we will not again draw this diagram. That's why the latter are used for the dominant and for recessive, for heterozygote, and this will be the dominant. Okay, this will I'll explain. So are you this allelic gene is clear?
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay. Now comes to the next principle, that is principle of dominance. It is not a law. It is not a law. This is only a law of segregation. And this is also not a law. This is experiment. See here, Mendel's experiment of for inheritance of color. Okay, first experiment, and the first law is this law of segregation. Now next is principle of dominance. Now what is this principle of dominance? So this principle says that the effect of allele R, the effect of allele R for white color flower is suppressed by the presence of allele R. That's why we are writing it in capital letter, and that's why I am writing it is dominant homozygous, and this is small r, that is also that this is also homozygous, but it is recessive. So the effect, or we can say effect of this allele is suppressed by small by the presence of capital R. So this is red color flower, then that is dominant parent, and white color flower, that is recessive parent. So F1 will be red color, isn't it? So F1 will be here. See, F1 will be red color because this capital R is dominant over small r. Capital R is dominant over small r. Now on selfing, we will get four different offspring like capital R. Just if I make the cross again, small r, capital R is small r, capital R is small r. So this will be R, small r, small r, small r. So four type of offspring will be there in F2 generation. So there are three will be red color, one will be of white color. So our phenotype will be 3:1. Okay. So because these are red because of small r is recessive and capital R is dominant over small r. So that's why this will be red flower and this will be white flower. So the phenotype will be 3:1. Okay. Now see what will be the genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio will be 1:2:1 because this is the genetic constituent, that homozygous dominant, this is heterozygous, and this is homozygous recessive. Okay. Any doubt in this principle of dominance? Hello.
No doubt.
Okay. Now we will move to the next, that is okay. The next is test cross and back cross. So what is the test cross and back cross? Can anyone tell me what is the test cross and back cross?
So back cross, if we cross the progeny with their parents,
Which parent?
male parent.
Both the parent or only one parent?
So only one parent. If we cross the progeny with only one parent, मतलब parents अगर हम लोग cross कराते हैं मतलब पीछे वाली generation से back.
हाँ, you are right. So two different crosses are there, F1 and its parents, that is known as back cross. So simply what is back cross? The test cross and back cross are first discovered by Mendel. So who discovered test cross and back cross? Mendel during the P experiment. All the crosses can be diagrammatically represented with the help of square, and that is known as Punnett square. So this is also an important question. See this square I am making here to making the zygote. This is known as Punnett square. Okay, this is known as Punnett square. Please mute your mic. Sheetal, please mute your mic. Okay, so this is known as Punnett square. Next is Sheetal, please mute your mic. Okay, so now in order to prove, so why this test cross and back cross are useful? So if in order to prove the heterozygote R is producing two gametes R and capital R and small r in equal proportion. Suppose this is my heterozygote and this is F1 generation. So they are producing two type of gamete, capital R and small r, and we have to prove that this is in equal proportion 1:1. That is proved by back cross. So in order to prove that heterozygote R, capital R, small r produce two different type of gametes R and small r in equal proportion, a back cross experiment is conducted. So what is a back cross? A back cross is a cross in which F1 hybrid is crossed back to one of its parents, one of the two parents. So one of the two parents can be two types. Here, see, this is F1 hybrid R into R, and if I am doing the cross with dominant parent, earlier I told you that these are the parents. If I am taking S one parent is S capital R, so this will be the cross. So see here, R capital R small r, this is F1 hybrid. This will produce two type of gametes, capital R, small r, and this will produce only one type of gamete, capital R. So now the offspring will be, this is F2 generation, the offspring will be capital R and capital R, small r. So the ratio is 1:1. So from this we can prove that this is producing the gametes in equal proportion, because this is homozygous and this is only producing one type of gamete. So we can say that F1 hybrid is producing two different gametes in equal proportion. That's why we are getting F2 offspring in 1:1 ratio. Okay. Similarly, if I am taking recessive parents as a one of the parent. So again, see here, R and R capital R small r will produce two type of gamete. This will produce only one type of gamete, and we will make the cross. Then in F2 generation, one offspring is capital R small r and one is small r small r. So again, it is in ratio of 1:1. Okay. Now, what is test cross? A test cross is a cross in which F1 hybrid, that is capital R small r, is crossed back to the recessive parents only. Okay, remember these two things, that if we cross with either of the parent, either homozygous dominant or either homozygous recessive, then this cross will known as back cross. If we are taking only recessive parent, then it is known as test cross. Okay, this difference you can read by your own. That breeding of dominant phenotype with the homozygous recessive phenotype is known as test cross. The breeding of F1 generation with one of its parents plant is known as back cross. But all test cross are back cross. I can say this. All test cross are back cross. A back cross can be said as a test cross if the parents is recessive. Okay, the F1 hybrid is crossed with the recessive genotype here. The F1 hybrid is crossed with the any of the parent. Okay, the next is the test cross helps in identification of the genotype of the dominant individual. Likewise, we can see this. Now, see the application of test cross and back cross. Any doubt till now?
तो मेरे को ये डिफरेंस का फर्स्ट पॉइंट समझ में नहीं आया टेस्ट क्रॉस का.
First point, breeding of dominant phenotype with the homozygous recessive. Dominant phenotype means what? Suppose my F1 generation is AA. This is dominant because we are using the law of dominance, and capital A is dominant over small a. So this is breeding. Breeding means after being doing selfing, or we are doing AA cross small a, that will be our recessive genotype. See here, breeding of dominant phenotype with the homozygous recessive phenotype. Homozygous recessive phenotype as a parent is known as a test cross. So this is nothing but another type of definition of this. Simple definition is simply here I have written here, a test cross is a cross in which F1 hybrid, that is R, capital R, small r, is crossed back to the recessive parent only. Okay.
सर एक मतलब अगर हम लोगों के पास जो F1 हाइब्रिड है वो डोमिनेंट फिनोटाइप ना होके रेसेसिव फिनोटाइप है, उसको भी अगर हम लोग रेसेसिव फिनोटाइप के साथ होमोजाइगस तो भी वो टेस्ट क्रॉस कहलाएगा.
Sorry, I didn't get. Please tell slowly. Suppose what you tell again.
If we don't have dominant phenotype, if we have a recessive phenotype.
As a offspring, as a F1 hybrid.
Yes, sir.
F1 hybrid, how come it will be a recessive?
If two of recessive parents.
Tell me one example. Huh? It will not be like that, na? If actually we are just, whenever we study this Mendelian genetics, then we have to cross dominant with recessive. Dominant with recessive. Then and then only we will get our F1 generation, then F2 generation. We will not cross that recessive with recessive. That is another another part of biology, I think so. Okay, so this F1 will be then it will not be a test cross. It will not be there will be no meaning of this. Suppose you are taking that A and A. What is the meaning of this? This will produce small a. This will produce small a. Then the offspring is small a. So what is the meaning of studying this to checking this gametes is in equal proportion or not? This will produce only one type of gamete. There will be no variability. Homogeneous is parents are there, okay, so homogeneous offspring will be there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, getting or not?
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, just now we will see one application of this test cross. Suppose this I'm writing here. Suppose this is unknown, capital Y, and this is unknown. Okay, and small y is there, and I am crossing it with a recessive. I am crossing it with recessive. It means this is example of test cross. So suppose my offspring are capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y. So by knowing these are known offspring, suppose in question, for if I tell you in the question that it is given that all the offspring in a cross are heterozygote. Heterozygotes, then they can ask that which type of parent will be there. So I can say this, if see here, if this is homozygous capital YY, for example, so this will produce capital Y gamete and this will produce small y gamete. Then I will cross them, then it will be capital Y small y. Sorry, this will, the gametes will be capital Y capital Y. So this will be capital Y small y, capital Y small y, capital Y small y. Okay, so this is what application, a test cross resulting in all dominant offspring. So these all are dominant here, indicates that the parents are homozygous dominant. So we can say if all the offspring are dominant heterozygous, then there will be a homozygous parents. Now see another example. Now suppose a test cross resulting in 1:1 ratio of yellow and green offspring. This will indicate that parents is heterozygous. See, y small y, and if I cross it with test cross, then it will be y small y, y small y, small capital Y small y, capital small y small y. So this will be yellow seeds and this will be green seeds. Okay, so this is the application, or we can say we can, on the basis of offspring gametes, on the basis of offspring zygotes, we can say that which type of parents will be there. Okay, just same example is this, you can check it, I will send this PDF to you. Okay, any doubt? Okay, if there is no doubt, I will move to the next example. Is there Mirabilis jalapa, or it is known as 4 o'clock plant. This example will show that what is incomplete dominance. We have seen that the principle of dominance, this is incomplete dominance. So best example is Mirabilis jalapa, and why it is called as 4 o'clock plant. किसी को पता है क्या? Can anyone tell me what is, why this Mirabilis jalapa is known as 4 o'clock plant? Because the late, usually what happened in flowers, whenever the day means sunlight came, the blooms of flowers started in the morning, but there is late blooming around 4 o'clock every day, and in early morning 4 o'clock it will, means flower will shrink. That's why it is known as 4 o'clock plant. This is very important example, Mirabilis jalapa. Now what is the incomplete dominance? So what is dominance? Just tell me that that dominant allele, that I can say capital R, is recessive over, is dominant over small r. Okay, but in this case, in incomplete dominance, it is not so. It is not so. So in example of Mendel's law of segregation, this will show the Mendel's law of segregation, but does not exhibit the principle of dominance. Okay, so these are my parents, capital R, this is red flower, and this is another parents, this is white flower. Now I will take a gametes, that is capital R, small r, and I will take I will cross all both of them, then we will get the F1 hybrid as capital R, small r. So this will be pink flower. It means there is no dominance. Capital R is not dominant over small r. That's why we are getting different color flower. After selfing, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, we will get 4 different type of offspring, and this will be of red color because both alleles are there homozygous. This is heterozygous, but there is no dominance, then it will be of pink color. This is red color, and this is white color. And the genotype as well as phenotype will be 1:1, 1:2:1. So this will be genotype and phenotype. Okay, but earlier in case of this, the phenotype is 3:1 and the genotype is 1:2:1, because there is complete dominance on small r of the capital R. Small r is recessive over, or we can say capital R is dominant over small r. So there will be 3 red color flower and 1 white color flower. But here in this situation, only 1 red will be there, 2 pink will be there, and 1 white will be there. So the ratio will be 1:2:1. Okay. So you can ask me any question, any doubt, if there is doubt, any incomplete dominance. Okay. So next we will move to the second law of Mendel. So first law was law of segregation. Then this is a law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. What is this meaning? Independent assortment, that different characters in the offspring of hybrids. Offspring of what? Offspring of hybrids. It means offspring of F1 generation are distributed independently of each other. इसका मतलब है that this is, suppose this is our F1 hybrid, so the different characters in offspring. So now on the selfing we will do selfing here, then different character of this F1 hybrid will go in the F2 generation independently. There will be no, means there will be no linking and all. So this will be independently will go in the second generation, that is known as law of independent assortment. So we will see here how to make this cross, and just a minute. So we will see this is known as dihybrid cross. First. So what is monohybrid cross and what is dihybrid cross? So if there are only two alleles in a cross, suppose I am taking this AA cross small a. So this parents is having only one allele. So this will cross A. So this is called as monohybrid. But here we are studying two characters simultaneously. That is yellow color flower and green color flower, green color seed. And the shape is round and wrinkled. So I am studying two characters simultaneously. Then this will known as dihybrid cross. Okay. So this will be a dihybrid cross. Now see, this is my parent, capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B. So this is a round or yellow color, round and yellow. I can say round and yellow. This is small a, small b. This is wrinkled and green, wrinkled and green. This is recessive parent. So this is parental generation. Then in this, what will be the gametes here? Can anyone tell me what will be the gametes? What will be the gametes here? Capital A, B and small a, B. These are the gametes. So after crossing this, I will get in F1 generation A, capital B, small b. Okay, so this is heterozygote. Okay, now I will do selfing. So in selfing I will make this Punnett square, and in this the gametes will be, in this the gametes will be, please speak. I cannot see your comments because I am on PDF, so I am not getting that screen. Just speak that what will be the gametes.
brown yellow, brown
You
green,
just you tell me the letters.
capital A, capital A, capital B, capital A, small b, small a, capital B, and small a, small b.
Exactly. So these 4 gametes will be there in dihybrid cross, in dihybrid selfing. So I will write here all the 4 gametes. Here I will write again because we are doing selfing. So this will be capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B. This will be capital A, capital B, small b. Likewise, I am not writing here. See here, capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B. Similarly, these are the with the shape and size of the flowers, of the seed. So these are the 9, these are the 16 combination will be there, and 16 combination will be in the ratio 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. 9 will be round and yellow, 3 will be green and yellow, 3 will be yellow and wrinkled, and 1 will be green and wrinkled. So these are the outcome, or we can say this in exam. They can ask that what is the ratio of dihybrid cross in Mendel's second law. So this will be the answer. 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. And number of zygotes will be 16. I will tell how to calculate and this number of zygotes, number of gametes. Okay, just in next I will tell you. So these are the now you can understand how to make this checkerboard, or we can take it checkerboard, or we can tell it checkerboard or Punnett square. So you can make this, and you can just tell that these are the offspring, or we can say these are the population of F2 generation. There will be 16 offsprings, and you by this checkerboard you can see here these diagonal elements will have the same genotype. See, capital A, capital small a, capital B, small b, that is heterozygote. See here, similarly this capital A, capital, see this, just to remember. So if you learn to make this checkerboard, you can simply tell this ratio. Okay, so I'll move to the next. That this is very important. This blank slide is very important actually. That in exam they ask that how many number of gametes will be there, how many number of phenotypes will be there, how many number of genotypes will be there, how many number of zygotes will be there from a monohybrid cross, from a dihybrid cross, from a trihybrid cross, from a tetrahybrid cross. So this is very important. So see, if I take monohybrid as an example, monohybrid. Okay, so what is monohybrid? See here, capital A, small a, and the offspring will be capital A, small a, and in self, after selfing, how many gametes will be there? Capital A, small a. Okay, so how many gametes are there in monohybrid? Two gametes. Number of gametes are two. Then on selfing, so what will be the result? Capital A, small a, capital A, small a. That will be capital A, capital A, capital A, small a, capital A, small a, small a, small a. So we will get capital A, capital A, small a, and small a, small a. So number of phenotypes. How many number of phenotypes are there? See, this is, if I tell this is red color, this is white color. So number of phenotypes, how many types of phenotypes are there? Two types. One is red, one is white. Okay. So this will be 2. Listen carefully because this is very important. In exam, this is only come. Next. If I ask that how many type of genotypes are there, so this is our dominant, homozygous dominant, this is heterozygous, this is homozygous recessive. So 3 types of genotypes are there. So I will write 3 here. Now number of zygotes. What is zygote? First of all, tell me what is zygote. I told you in beginning.
Fusion of two gametes.
Fusion of two gametes. So this is our zygotes, isn't it? These are our zygotes. Okay. See, these are gametes, and what we are doing selfing. So these are gametes, these are also gametes. So this is fusion. So how many zygotes are there? 4 zygotes are there. Okay. So I can write it 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 1. Just simply to make the formula 3 to the power 1 and 4 to the power 1. Now I will move to the dihybrid cross. Just wait. So this is capital A, capital A, capital B cross small a, small a, small b, small b. Then I will get here AB as a gamete, small a, small b as a gamete. Then we will get in F1 capital A, small a, capital B, small b. This is my F1. And from here the gametes are AB, small a, capital B, then
capital A, small b,
capital A, capital A, small b,
small
and
a, small b.
small a, small b. So 4 type of gametes are there. So the see here, number of gametes. How many gametes are there? 4. So I can write it 2 square. See, I am making formula also. 4 gametes. Okay. Now on selfing. On selfing, how many zygotes will be there? How many zygotes will be there?
Sir, 16.
4 into 4, 16. So the number of zygotes will be 16. So I can write it 4 square. How many number of phenotypes will be there? See this cross. This is what? This is our phenotypes. So how many types of phenotypes are there?
Four.
So four,
4.
four types exactly. So this will be 4 and this is 2 square. And number of genotypes. If I tell number of genotypes, so how many genotypes will be there? How to make that genotypes? See, just here. Simply how to make? Simply uh, just a minute. Okay. So there will be total 4 type of genotypes will be there. For example, like I am doing TTRR. Okay. Then then gametes will be capital T, small t, capital R, small r, and this will be TR, T, small r, small t, capital R, and small t, small r. Okay, so the my genotypes will be of on the basis of this. So on the basis of this, I can say that there will be 9 genotypes. There will be 9 different genotypes. See here, I'll tell you how this will be 9, 3 square. Just a minute. This, see here. Now this is what our round and just count. Okay, this is round and yellow. One type of genotype. Can I rub this? Can I erase this? Just see. Okay. So first one is round yellow. See, this is what? This is also a round yellow. This is round yellow. This is round wrinkled, and this is what? Our heterozygote. See, and the difference is here. This is homozygous dominant. This is homozygous. This is not homozygous dominant, but this is heterozygote. And this is capital A, capital A, small b. So here recessive is also coming. Recessive is also coming. So with this, we will get, just a minute. I am Okay. That's- Okay. So see here, capital A, capital A, capital V, capital V. This is one kind of genotype. Then this is second type of genotype. Then this is third type. This is fourth one. This is fifth one, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So this will be different 9 genotypes will be there. Are you getting? So this will be different 9 genotypes will be there. Capital A, capital A, capital A, capital V, then A, B, V, then A, B, B, then capital A, small b. Then the next one is capital A, this one. Next one is capital A, small small v, and small a, capital V, and this one is A, B, V, and A, B, V. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this will be 9 genotypes. Sorry, I was a bit confused. Okay, so did you get this? How many genotypes will be there? 9 genotypes. So this will be 9. Now similarly, if we go for trihybrid, so I will tell you what will be the trihybrid cross. It will be like, suppose I am having a parent like T R G G, small t, small r, small g, small g. So what will be the gametes here? T, R, G. Small t, small r, small g. On in crossing, I will get T, T, R, R, G, G. This is my F1. So now tell me just how many type of gametes will be there. How many types of gametes will be there and how to make this. So this is the method T, R, R, G, G. This is the tree method. Similarly, I will write here capital R, small r, capital G, small g, capital G, small g. Okay, so this will be, so this will be my gametes. TRG, capital T R, small g, capital T R, capital G, capital T, small r, small g, T R, capital G, T, capital R, small g, T, small r, capital G, T, small r, small g. Okay, so how many types? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gametes will be there. So I can write here 8 and that will be 2 cubes. Similarly, our number of phenotypes will be 8. That will be 2 cube. Similarly, a number of genotypes will be 3 cubes, that is 27. And that number of zygotes will be 4 cube, that is 64. Likewise, I can tell in the tetrahybrid cross, that is 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 4, 3 to the power 4, 4 to the power 4. Okay, so the formula I can make this like this is 2 to the power n. This is 2 to the power n. This is 3 to the power n. This is 4 to the power n. Okay, now what is n here? Can anybody tell me what is N? What is N?
Type of cross.
Type of cross. Monohybrid, dihybrid, trihybrid, and tetrahybrid. Now just tell me, if I am taking one example, capital A, capital B, small b, capital C, small c, capital D, capital E, small e. Now tell me how many gametes will be there in this. How many gametes will be there?
5.
Huh? How many gametes? Number of gametes?
2 power 5.
2 to the power
32.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to the power 5. Right? This will be 32. Isn't it? Is it right?
Yes, sir.
No. This is not right. That is the one of the most important thing to find this. This type of question will come in exam, that what, how many gametes will be there in this type of genotypes. But we have to remember that we have to only consider the heterozygote one. See this, and this. So n will be 3 here. So 2 to the power 3, 8 will be there. I will tell how it is possible. See, just I am starting, okay, I am starting with A. Then I will write B. Then I will write C. Then I will write D. Then I will write E. Just a minute. Now see what will be this. Capital A, capital V, capital C, capital D, capital E. Okay. See here also B, C, D, small d, capital D is there. This is small c. Just remember, this is small c, capital E, small e. Again, I am having A, B, C, D, E. So this is same gametes. Are you getting? Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So we have to only consider that heterozygote one. Because why we are considering heterozygote? Because we are taking F1 hybrid only. Whenever the question is coming in the exam like this, we are considering, we are giving the result of F2 generation only. See, and we are doing, or we are using F1 hybrid. After F1 hybrid, we are doing selfing, and we are telling the results of all F2 generation. This is all result of F2 generation. 2 to the power n, 2 to the power n number of phenotype, number of genotype is 3 to the power n, number of zygotes 4 to the power n. So remember this thing, this is very important. So the number here n will be 3. Okay, समझ में आया? Any doubt? So you just remember these formulas. 2 to the power n will be the number of gametes, 2 to the power n will be the number of phenotypes, 2 to the 3 to the power n will be the number of genotypes, and 4 to the power n will be the number of zygotes. Is there any doubt? With this, I will stop today's class. Is there any doubt in today's class? Hope you guys understand something in today's lecture. I am waiting for the response.
No doubt.
Okay. So Tanush sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So today I have completed this Mendelian genetics. With this I am completing today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.